fucking shook me, eh? I'm just carrying on a bit. You're an animal. Whether you are watching us on YouTube or listening to us on your favourite podcast platform, welcome back to the Torq podcast. And here we are, brother.
Yes, we are. We're only a couple days late.
Better late than never.
Abso-freaking-lutely. How you been, my man?
Cruising.
Cruising.
Yeah.
School holidays, baby.
How good?
Yeah. Kids have only tried to flog each other like a handful of times, so we're winning.
Today.
Yeah. Nah, it's good, mate. It's good. I've, even though just hearing the poor old ute on the loud pedal there in the intro makes me...
Oh, hit ya.
But I think I'm starting to get over it, mate.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm starting to
Finally.
get over it. Just like you said, started spending money on the SLE. Now, by spending money on the SLE, I don't mean we've actually made any progress on it because it's one of those things where, like, I've sent the dashboard away to be recovered. So you're looking at probably about a 4-month turnaround there. I've got trims that need sort of repairing and re-anodizing or re-chroming. There's another, few months turnaround and a few bits and pieces that, I've got to wait. They're like a boomerang. Got to send them out, got to wait for them to come back, and then we can put them on. But
none of that's going to really hold you up progress-wise. It's just something that needed to happen.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess where I'm at the moment, I do want to get this body together. I want to get the body pretty well complete with, interior and stuff before we start doing a lot of driveline type of jigger. But like I say, there is still plenty that we can be doing. I just need to get stuck in. But at the moment, like I say, a lot of my time is sort of spent administerially. I'm on the laptop, I'm emailing people.
Making spreadsheets.
I did make a spreadsheet, you're right. I thought this might make it easier for me to track and tick things off the list.
You know, if I knew how to make a spreadsheet, I probably still wouldn't make a spreadsheet.
I was going to say...
That's just me, though.
You made an analog spreadsheet on your little whiteboard and you didn't even use that half the time.
No.
So, yeah. I'm getting stuck in where I can. But, yeah. I actually got a package the other day. So, sweet bit of kit. It's a product that I've been waiting for a long time. They've been out a couple months now, I guess. But I was super pumped when I heard they were coming. So, I'll shout them out. Fuck it. FH Classic Auto Parts have got bumper rubbers to suit VH SLE and SLX as well, I think, which I got my bumpers re-chromed and everything, but I was going to have to use the old rubbers because no one reproduces it. If you do find a new old stock set, which is rare, you're looking at a couple of grand for sure. If not...
Not anymore. Not when you
anymore.
can get reproduction.
Absolutely. So now we've got... Well, it's still wrapped up in the plastic, but...
So you haven't even laid your eyes on it
I haven't, no, because I want to,
You want to do an unboxing video?
I'll do a video. So I want to show the people how they come packaged and whatever. So I've left them wrapped up in the packaging as they've arrived. And I want to, get stuck in. But they look, from what I've seen on other vehicles, like, photos and testimonials, they do look like a quality piece. So I've got bumper rubbers, bumper end caps, badge set, like quarter vents, all
the
these
stuff he sells that you needed.
Yeah. So, and he helped me out a little bit. He sort of he knows what we do, and so he said, I'll give you a couple of dollars off and some free freight, which is okay by me. And yeah, he was a good dude to deal with. You can tell he's old school. You can tell he's old school. He got on the phone and like that's how he wants to do business.
Yeah.
And honestly, so this was something I was probably going to talk about a little bit later, but since it's a good segue, online shopping. I wanted to talk about online shopping, and how good it is for people like us, right? Who we're certainly not experts, but a lot of the time we know what we're looking for. You know, we're going, I need this part number, like I've done my research, whatever. You can just go add to cart, put the payment, and just wait for the post office to drop it off. But as we've found through, you know, the cars and stuff that we've done, sometimes that can be a flaw, right? If you pick up the phone and you speak to someone, and even if it is that you know what you want, or you think you know what you want, they might tell you like, oh, there's an incompatibility here with those two products or whatever. And you go, oh, I didn't realise. And a lot of the time, so we've used Outlaw or RCE or whatever, the price that you see on their eBay store versus the price that you get if you pick up the phone, sometimes you can save a few bob too.
Yeah, well, they're getting slugged for fees
Exactly.
to use these services. So
Yeah. But it's like, is this a thing that's going to go away? Are the brick and mortar stores, you know, as things progress, they're going to be a thing of the past? Like, is it just going to be like a dropship warehouse?
it's trending that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be as much for our like this particular industry as far as speed parts and stuff like that go.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's going that way now. Really, let's, you know.
Particularly for someone that's just getting into it, I reckon it'd be super like counterproductive to go that way. To have someone where even if you are spending a couple of dollars more than what you would on an online store, if you've got that sort of point of reference, you've got that person that you can touch base with. Because what happens if, say for instance, you have an issue with a product through no fault of your own, it's just a faulty product. You could pick up the phone to old mate and say, hey, got a drama. And sure, you're going to have to send it back or whatever, but at least that person probably has an inroad with the manufacturer because he deals with them.
Or they at least stand by the products that they sell.
Yeah. So it's like...
So sometimes those got like a good shop will wear that and then figure it out later.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I've got the perfect example was we've bought heaps of parts for the current project that's in my shed that we haven't even done a video on.
Yeah.
Bought heaps of stuff from heaps of different vendors, and one issue that I did find was with some Holly stuff, a potential issue with the Pro Dash 686 Pro Dash. They can just be a bit, I think there was a bad batch or a couple of batches or something like that. And I mentioned it to the sales guy, and he goes, yeah, look, if we have any dramas, I've only had a couple, but if we have any dramas, we'll just send you out another one. Like,
Yeah.
it's all good.
So they're on it. Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
How good.
That's all you need. You just need someone that's going to stand behind the shit they sell. And usually the people that are selling it for the absolute cheapest price, they're making bugger all on it, and that's because they don't want to or cannot provide any sort of service. So that's not built into their price structure at all.
No,
so
that's right.
it honestly just depends what you're looking for, because some people don't care about that,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
Yeah, it's another thing that you get. Like, this is going to transfer to an on the chip, I guess, but because this happened to
This
me.
early,
Yeah, no, maybe I'll save it. But no, well, it
just
relates
go.
to this.
Don't.
Yeah, it relates to this. So you get these online stores that they all advertise, you know, all these products, and they've got the list of all the things and photos and whatever. You go to click on it, add to cart, process payment, sweet, and then 24 hours later you get an email saying, oh, it's on back order with our supplier and you're not getting it for a couple of weeks. It's like, don't act like you've got this shit on the shelf when you don't. You know, like, at least have in there that not in stock, you know, on back order or whatever. Give you that option. But no, they take your money first.
Yeah,
And then deal with the consequences later.
100%.
So
That'd be kind of common, especially with some of the more. You wouldn't really call them big box, but just sort of some of the less smaller shops, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, there's some just real sort of try hard big box stores that you can see they're like got a sweet website and they fucking sell everything under the sun. But you know, you sort of know deep down that even if you did call them up, you're probably going to have the same sort of cats that are working at your Super Cheap or your Repcos or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Is it
like,
auto or manual?
yeah, like, and that's just I could
I
be
need
a
wiper
bit off,
blades.
but that's just the vibe I get from some of them. But sometimes you get some good deals. So it just depends where you're at and
Yeah.
what you're doing. But yeah, the type of car and the type of thing you're going to be doing too. If you're going to be racing and
Yeah.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
definitely makes sense to use some more local shops that you can get that support and the advice on maybe other things as well.
Yeah, that's it. Like I say, I think when we did the XY, we were purchasing some MSD gear and whatever, and the coil that I was pretty sure I was going to buy had the part number. I said, yep, this is all the stuff that I want. And then they turned around and said, oh, that coil's not compatible with that box. And I was just like, huh. I said, it's pretty much the only coil that's not compatible with that box. You could have chosen any of them. And I was like, yeah, right.
So you've got a gift there. At times,
Absolutely, yeah. And that's not to say that it'd be a massive problem. If you got it, it was incompatible, you send it back, you exchange it. But that's just
But you need to know as well.
Exactly, yeah.
When you're doing a fresh build and something won't work, you're
Yeah.
not going to think, oh, that brand new coil that I bought is incompatible. You're going to fucking go. That's a massive headache.
Yeah.
That's a headache that you'll quite happily spend an extra 5 or 10% on the right part
Yeah.
to get the right advice.
You're not going to think that brand new fuel pressure regulator you got on your car is going to fail, do you, Kurt?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a thing that we chased around for a little while.
Yeah, and it's still been a bit funny. I've put my other brand new one on there, and it's gone back to being a little bit funky again. So I don't know. I get over that car all the time.
Yeah, yeah, it's a thing.
Mm.
You just get overwhelmed, I
I just
think.
get over everything.
Yeah, yeah. But nah, like I say, circling back a little bit, it was good just to have someone that was willing to jump on the phone and have a chat, and like he wanted to know about the car, and if there was anything else. Obviously, there's a sales tactic in there, right? It's just like, oh, what about these? I've got these on, rah whatever, and I've got these things on the boil that'll be ready for release soon if that's something you're interested in. Which sometimes it'd be like, actually, yeah. In my case, I had most of what I needed, but it was good. Shout out to Frank. So thanks, mate. And yeah, we'll do a video when I get it happening, because basically, I think we nutted out the other day, literally everything on the exterior of this car is going to be brand new.
Yeah. I think to get everything 100%, you buy a new grill, which you were reluctant to.
I believe Rare Spares are
Doing
coming
the
up with a new
grills.
one. Yeah,
Yep.
I've got a good grill that I could paint, but like you say, if you can get a new
And the door moldings, like the black ones. Rares do those, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do
So I've got a
those.
set of door moldings that probably, if you redid the chrome strip, they'd probably come up all right. But same thing.
They're going to stand out now. Like once you do everything or most things new, you've got no. This is the snowball effect.
This is the painful part.
Snowballing. I don't know anyone that doesn't have some sort of snowball effect on their project. The Maloo I've got in, that is the biggest snowball I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
That thing snowballed really quick.
It did.
Well-
It's how many project cars are out there that were probably taken off the road for it'll only be a month. Oh, three weekends, mate. We'll probably be able to turn that around, and then 9 months later they're still in pieces.
Yeah. And the snowball effect can be 50%, like a yin and yang. It could be like the best thing ever. It could also be, oh, this didn't make it over the line, got over it, sold it, or whatever. So you can take it both ways.
Yeah. That's something that honestly scares the crap out of me, is that, like, what if I find myself in a spot where I can't get that car finished? Like, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, you don't let that happen.
No.
That's not going to happen.
No,
There's
it's
no
not
way
gonna
that can happen.
Not coming this far.
Because
no way.
the only way that would happen is if you cut it up to a point and then got left in the lurch by the person doing it, and you couldn't. It's it's all there.
Yeah.
You just got to bolt all the shit back in it now.
Yeah. Wire it up, whatever. But it's something that if you can see it happen with a lot of people, though. You end up way out of your depth. You've exhausted all the budget you got, and you're just like, shit.
You got to pace yourself, mate.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's easy to get a little sugar rush,
Exactly. As you come into adulthood, that's one of the things you learn. You got to pace yourself. You can't go too hard too soon. You just got to see what you've got in the tank and follow it through.
Yeah. Sometimes you go too hard and it bites you on the arse. I wanted to talk about Kieran Barber. Look at this. Repping the shirt today. This is a happy accident. But gone over to the US. He's one of the dudes that's headed over to the US. Bought himself an RV and a trailer, and look, hats off to him. He's been very transparent about how that journey's gone so far. And it might seem like all beer and Skittles, but he's had some trials and tribulations.
As you'd expect.
Who would have thought paying, what was it, $8.5 US for an RV off Craigslist, and had a few dramas. But when you're in a totally foreign country, you kind of by yourself on a highway and shit's gone wrong. That's not a great headspace to be in.
My own brain, I would never have, because as soon as you say $8,000 RV on thing, I'm the guy that's going to be, that's not
clapped.
Like, it's fucked.
Yeah.
It's just, even if it's not,
Yeah.
which I don't think it's been that bad really.
Yeah.
Like for
The first thing
the
I
most
thought,
part.
the first thing I thought on the first day that he was stuck on the side of the road looking for, I think it was a throttle cable. I was thinking, if I was there with Kurt right now,
I'll be fucking peeking.
he'd be like,
I fucking told you.
yeah. I told you this piece of shit. No. You'd just be going,
I'm such a negative.
look, when things are going good, you are there. You are.
I would have got it fixed.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But you'd be muttering.
Yeah.
You would be muttering.
But I wouldn't go there. I'd be making sure I didn't have to fix it.
Yeah. Hey, look, it ended up
That's
being,
only because I'm negative and I think
Yeah.
everything's going to fucking go wrong.
and I think it's one of those things where you're going into a platform that you're totally unfamiliar with, right? It's an RV, it's a Cummins diesel, and all this sort of stuff that probably wouldn't have played with too much. Just the layout of that kind of vehicle would be totally foreign to majority of people. And then, like I say, you're in a foreign country with very little support network. You don't know where to buy parts. You don't know who you can trust. All these sort of stuff. And you're stuck on the side of the road, literally stuck on the side of the road. What do you do? But it's been really good to watch his journey. Like I say, I think he's turned a corner now. He's managed to overcome the hurdles that he's got to so far, and the stuff that's left is manageable. You know what I mean? But he's picked up the car from California. He's traveling around. He's linked up with I think it's Jacko's Lux, who's another fellow that's over there doing the grand tour. And while over there, it's the 4th of July, so there'll be beers and scantily clad women and fireworks and burnouts and all the good gear today.
All the fixings.
So hopefully, man, you're having a good one. Enjoy America. But I saw that Gup has put a call out for another round of cars to go over.
Yeah, okay.
What do you reckon is going on there? Is there like do you think that maybe he's managed to strike a deal with a promoter over there to be like, if you can get more cars, we can do a thing? Or do you think that he's just seeing a level of momentum that he's like, we can keep this going? Or
Don't know. I don't really think anything, really. It's just Gup. He just fucking does what he wants.
Oh, absolutely he does. But,
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be some method to the madness, surely. It'd be awesome for
Well, if
for the
some
guys
is
that want
good,
to-
more is better. So
True.
you got to remember, he's got a show that he's trying to promote. So
Yep.
if he's got, I don't know, there could be some breakages. There could be, who knows?
Yeah. And it'd be a novelty, I guess, for the American public to have these goddamn Australians giving it to it over there. With
It's
their
only going to
burnout
be, we sort of hold the, we're the best at burnouts in the world kind of thing.
Yeah, we're
but that's
put
not
on a
going to last
pedestal.
forever.
Yeah,
Like,
we're on a
especially
pedestal.
now, not that they are starting to take it seriously, like anything. We're nothing different to what they are, really. There'll
Yeah.
be guys there that have the money and the driving talent and everything else. They'll figure it out.
They got a lot of resources too.
Exactly.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, like you say, in the next probably 12 to 18 months to see what comes out once, a couple of events get off the ground and they start putting some prize money together. And, if you find that I'm guessing an 850 index class in America's got like 8,000 entrants at this point, you know, if you're drag racing. So they're going, nah, that's too hard. Might get into this new thing instead. You know what I mean? It'd be interesting. But then what's the flow-on effect for us in Australia? If you get all these big banger cars and you send them overseas, it's not like they're coming back in a hurry. So what happens to the burnout competitions or the burnout scene that we've got here?
I think it's still as good.
Yeah.
Well, not everyone's going. There's only a very small amount of people, really.
But
a lot of people, a lot of guys that are sort of prolific in the scene, they all have businesses to run. They all have families. They're not. You're only going to have a select few people that are either young enough or old enough that don't have kids, that don't have businesses or jobs tying them down like this. Most people are tied down, really.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. So
Yeah.
you can cruise over and maybe do like fly over and back and do a few bits here and there, but it's not. I don't think it's something where you're going to be, taking a big heap of talent and cars away.
No.
From here.
But what I'm saying is like, say over the next 2 years, you do grab a big handful of these big banger cars. Like, let's say, you know, it's pretty obvious who, say, the top 20 people are, right? And let's say you take 10 of them. Well, there's already 8 cars in the States, you know what I mean? Like, but let's say you take 10 of the top 20 and you send them over there. And like I say, the car ain't coming back in a hurry. It takes ages to get there. You're not just going to leave it there for a week and turn it around. So the way that I'm sort of thinking is it's going to open up, I guess, a new stage for some up-and-comers to
look, the people that are just missing out on the top 10 or top 20, guys like you and I, we're not going to be able to tell the difference from a score that's this high to this high. I don't think you're going to notice any difference at all, honestly.
No, but it's
not like you're going to just have these people that are way worse that have now got an opportunity. It depends on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not saying that they're way worse or whatever.
No,
but,
no.
You
I don't think you're even going to notice. I just don't.
Okay.
Because I just think there's that many.
Just new names, new faces, and it just keeps rolling.
Well, yeah, they're not even new names or faces. They're just maybe not making the finalists or whatever every time. Like, there's still heaps. And some blokes have like 3 or 4 fucking insane cars to themselves.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't. I mean, we won't know.
Nah.
We're certainly not going to know, and I don't think anyone will really see.
No.
And look at how many cars are getting built too. New cars are getting built every week.
Yeah.
So,
not ours.
I don't think GUP's going to be able to wreck the market for skid cars or up and coming champions.
Yeah, righto.
But that's just me.
Righto, champion.
Righto, champion. He can try though.
Yeah. Events, mate. Hot news. It probably came out about a month ago or something. We've got somewhat local to us. It's not too far from us. Rubber Rampage is coming to Collie Motorplex. How cool is that?
Anytime they've got something there, it's good.
Yeah. It's been a long time since we've had like a street car-ish or burnout type meet, or like a power cruise style event.
Is that what it is, or is it just the burnout pad?
So I think at this stage it's just the burnout pad. But having spoken with event organisers, they said they would love to bring a cruising aspect to it, but there's obviously hoops to jump.
Yeah.
And
I think, I don't know because I don't speak to any of the people on the committee or any of the club that run the facility, but I don't believe that they really like those style events on their racetrack.
I don't think any of them do.
No.
But do you know what the crazy thing is? Collie Motorplex holds a shit ton of drifting, which you'd have to think would be arguably worse. Well,
no, I don't think so.
Because
you got guys blowing rims and stuff and just fucking up the surface. So I think that's really it. That's really the main thing.
Yeah. Well, and there's the people that do static burnouts on the track that fuck.
Yeah, but you don't always mean to do it either. You don't always mean to blow rims. It's just a part of that style of event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really. So.
But it's just good to see. Like, these guys have obviously seen that, Power Cruiser's gone. Gazinats, which was previously held in Collie once upon a time, that's no longer a thing.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be coming back.
No, West Coast Nats, that's been canned this year.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
a
like-
reason why these events aren't thriving. And it's probably because the two tracks over here, at the end of the day, I don't really enjoy
Yeah,
the
don't want
destruction that
sport.
has with it, yeah.
It's sad to see. It's sad for us, for sure. But
It's disappointing. I don't know if I would say sad, but it's definitely disappointing.
no, it is sad because like once it's all gone, what do we got? You know what I mean? Like yeah, like we still got the stuff at the Perth Motorplex, so you can go to the Whoop Ass Wednesdays, or you can go into one of the radial meets, or actually start doing some Andrew drag meets if you're getting a bit froggy.
Yeah,
with
I'm finding now, even just reflecting on how I feel about it, like literally right now, I think I'm sort of shying away more of that style of event and going more towards wanting to just go to the drags and just do not be competitive, but just go there and work on the craft there.
Yeah,
Because there's quantitative things that you can do to improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's always the
downside. Sorry to cut you off, but the downside is when you're doing the power cruise type stuff, there's other people on the
Yes,
track.
I
That's
was
the
just
bit
about
that
to
just
say.
that I don't like. I think the events themselves are awesome.
Yeah.
So good. Every
Yeah.
time we've been, they're the best.
Yeah.
But it could also, if
And-
you're unlucky enough, could be the worst thing as well. And we've seen in recent years some of the terrible accidents and stuff we've had. So
Yeah.
as far as safety and that's concerned, it's it's
And people, through no fault of their own, end up with $100,000 car that's trashed. Because sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah.
It's not.
Your street cars are just absolutely well and truly out of hand now. And they're within all our reach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
You can get an LS or a Barra or something, and you can spend fuck all, and you can make it do silly things.
How many 1,000 horsepower cars do you see for sale that would probably you could probably buy them for less than the cost of a new Hilux?
Heaps.
Yeah.
Heaps and heaps.
1,000 horsepower.
1,000 horsepower. That's the new 500, isn't it?
That's what I was about to say. So when we were in our younger years, say the new generation, they just think it's 1,000 horsepower. For us, it was 500, and then it was 700, then it was 800, 1,000. Now it's like 1,500. If you want to have that wow factor, it's got to be over 1,200 horsepower to get people to lift their eyebrows.
On the internet, anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
It's
just easy. It's just
and
super
these
easy now.
people-
That's all it is. And
Yeah.
we speak about it probably every podcast, really, don't we? How easy it is to make horsepower, but it's not easy to go fast down the track.
No.
You can have all the horsepower in the world,
Yeah.
all the money, but if you don't have the right people or the knowledge, you can only get so far.
Yeah. We did have a local radial meet at the Perth Motorplex. It was a couple of weeks ago now. I saw a thing on the WA radial racing page. I think I sent you a screenshot yesterday of they called it the list. This was the list 1, and then the next one will be the list 2, and I'm sure there'll probably be a list 3. But the NA class, they were all sort of low 10. There was a high mid-second 9-second car in the mix as well, and I was just thinking, imagine if my car was running. That would
You have to start bolting parts on it. For that.
absolutely, yeah. But it's just like it's exciting to see that it's like there's an avenue there and they most of these seem to be street strip cars.
Yeah. Give it another 4 rounds and there'll be 820s.
Oh yeah, in naturally aspirated.
Yeah, your car won't
Surely
even
not.
make the bump by the time it's together, eh?
Yeah.
It's good though. Trying to come up with creative ways to get some more jewels back in there.
Yeah.
Get people excited to get the cars out, and I think we're not that involved in the drags up there or anything. We know a couple.
We
of
don't
people.
have any cars.
Yeah, but we're not even really. We're not up there a lot or anything like that. We don't really know the people. We know a few names.
Yeah.
And that's about it. But looking from the outside in, it sort of looks like they're slowly starting to get the handle on some of the prep there. Like, I think it's been notorious for a while to just not have the best sort of radial prep.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we're starting to turn a corner there, which is going to help
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
all that.
Because we've got a fantastic facility.
Oh, it's the best. And the people there, everyone's passionate, on board. Like, we've got all the right ingredients there.
Yeah. Do we get enough bums on seats, though? That's one thing that's like...
You probably you have that problem everywhere in
Yeah.
the world. Like, people just aren't going as much anymore. That's where you really want to start looking into, like, if you really care about that, the streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you need to build something first.
Yep.
Watching cars go down the strip, no matter how fast they are, if you're not right into it, it's pretty boring watching it on the thing. You want people, that grudge. You want this bloke's racing him or whatever. That the same sort of shit you've got over with like Matux versus Croydon and all the GDR battles and all the roll race battles, and that's what gets people there and interested to watch.
Exactly.
It's not just the A to B. It doesn't matter what the number is from A to B. It really doesn't.
No.
It's who you're riding with.
Yeah.
The stories.
Yeah.
The builds that they do. That's how innovation's fueled.
I've heard some Americans talk about this on different American, racing type podcasts, and the question sort of gets asked: who should be responsible for bringing people in the gate? Is it the track? Is it the promoter? Or is it the racers? It's an interesting one to think, because you think the promoter needs to get the event out there. But like you just said, who are the people coming to see? They're not coming to see the promoter. They want to come and see that battle. They want to come see that rivalry.
Everyone needs to do their part.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You can't have one without the other. So
no, you're right. Because it's one of those things. Build it and they will come. So you've got the promoter. He's going to give the venue, the catalyst, I guess. Then you're going to bring all the racers in to do their bit, and they're going to be the show, and the people are going to come and see the show.
The only thing that really gets anything happening is people's passion to go faster and beat the guy next to them.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be money, because the money doesn't come from anywhere.
No.
So, it's not really anyone's job to do anything. You just do it.
Just do it.
And if people are watching, they're watching. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be a show, really, does it?
No, not everything has to be a show. But like you say, that's what's going to attract people to want to do it, like to come along and watch. Because obviously not everyone has the mechanical aptitude, the resources, the budget, whatever, to build a car and not compete, because it's not always competing, but participate. They don't have the means to participate. So if they can then be the person in the stands to still show that interest.
Yeah, well, if you're interested enough, you'll be there, won't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like we rely on a track to promote something for us to be interested in it, or for us to want it to go if we're free and it's just the way it is.
It's somewhere I'd like to spend a bit more time though, at the track.
Yeah.
One day we'll get there, mate. One day.
I have enjoyed watching Cletus's new the Eagle race car on CJ Race Cars, mainly on his YouTube.
Yeah.
They've really stepped up the video quantity, and they're long, and there's no real production value there, but it's good to see what's involved, and they do super nice work.
Well, they'd be silly not to, right? If you've got the juggernaut that is the Cletus.
Yeah, I think he's the one that sort of coaches them all.
Yeah.
This is what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to
He
get your
does the
brand
same
out
with Steve Morris. He does,
Yeah. Yeah.
does the same with anyone.
Yeah. And gee, that whole Steve Morris thing, there was fingers being pointed left, right, and centre with engine failure.
That's standard with all his. There's so many people that follow him that don't have a fucking clue about things, which is fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
I ain't hating on him, but they should probably not be pointing fingers and grabbing pitchforks either at the same time. So.
Yeah.
But you're never going to get away from that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Old mate does not need a white knight sticking up for him in the comments section. He's just fine. You know, like he's got a good working relationship with these people. I'm sure if there wasn't a good working relationship, they wouldn't make it to the screen. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't, because credit where credit's due. Everything that he puts out, it's just all positive vibes. You know, everything's positivity. There's next to no negative content or anything
None,
negative
really.
to say. Yeah.
Nothing. And
So it's
he's
like, I'm sure he's had dealings with companies and vendors and things that have been well subpar.
Yeah,
You know, you don't get that big without having those interactions.
Yeah.
You know, you got to break a couple eggs to make an omelette.
Yeah, I've listened to a podcast that he did years ago, and I think it was he said it was one of the most important things his dad taught him was not to air out stuff like that. Your dirty laundry, like don't throw people, even if they do you dirty, you don't want to put that out there because that's going to scare away any other potential people that want to work with you and partner up and stuff. You know, even people that do the right thing, have a good product or a good service, you can have problems no matter what, and if you take it the wrong way and throw someone under the bus, even if they deserve it or not, it could potentially turn away other big people. You know, he's got people like Holly and Summit and all sorts of people. They're not going to want to, you know, work with someone that as soon as something doesn't go their own way, they just fucking throw their bike in the bush and spit the dummy.
Yeah.
So it's probably more of a professional thing, and we're much the same as well. With not that we're anything remotely like that, but we're not going to throw people under the bus. We always talk about parts or people we don't want to work with, but we don't name them specifically because it's just not the right way to do things.
No, that's right. No, and you don't need to give those people the airspace either. You know, like the age-old saying, any publicity is good publicity. So even if you are ragging out, you're still going to get people, you know, searching their name.
Yeah.
You just don't need to give it to them. Don't give them the satisfaction, the dogs.
But yeah, so I've enjoyed looking at, and that thing's coming together pretty quick too.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a really cool car. So
makes me wonder what the car's really going to be, though. You know what I mean? Like it's not a street car. It doesn't seem.
It's going to be a fucking pro mod with small tires.
Yeah, but is it even going to be a pro mod?
The car is going to be exactly like a pro mod.
Yeah.
It's just on it. It's like I don't know what all the classes are over there.
Yeah, no, neither do I.
It's going to be like just the most craziest radial.
Yeah.
Car.
Because there's so many different there's so many different avenues you can go down, and they're all very specific, and it sort of comes down to the whole micro record thing, right? You get someone that doesn't like the way that things are done in this class, so they make a new one with a new association or whatever. So you get things like Pro Mod, then you got like your Pro 275, and then you got your Radial versus the World, and there's all these cars that, in a sense, they've got a similar sort of chassis setup. You just have to change the rear end and the power adder and whatever, which isn't a small thing. Don't get me wrong. Those changes are big when it comes to ETs and things like that, and just getting the runs on the board to make it consistent. But yeah, I don't know if he's really expressed what the car is going to be, because it's not going to be a drag and drive car, which is the kind of thing that he's been doing a lot of. Then you've obviously got the TX2K thing.
Yeah, I'm assuming he just wants something proper to do your World Cup finals. All the stuff he already does, like that'd be what it is.
Look, there's no question.
He wants to go, whatever he does, he wants to go and win. So he's building. It's not like he doesn't know what he's doing or the guys don't know. So they know exactly where the car's going to fit in what different races or whatever that they're going to. And they're building the baddest thing that they can think of while utilising, his sponsors like Precision. Like it'll be turboed and it's got the old Proline Hemi in it. So, basically the best. He wants to win. Everywhere he goes to win.
Yeah. You're not there to mess around.
No. So he's not going to find himself not fitting anywhere.
Nah. Yeah. I don't doubt that. Like, I'm sure he's got a clear direction, but I just can't see where it's going yet.
Yeah, but that's because we don't know. They've got so many different classes and different... they've got so many different things to choose from over there.
Yeah, they are spoilt for choice, that's for sure. after the whole Cletus thing. New merch is coming, Kurt.
It is.
It's we haven't got it yet. It's not here yet, but it is in queue for the print, and it's one of your favourites so far. It's your favourite design so far. The Pick Your Poison was very popular last year. We did a limited run of grey shirts, which were super popular. It's making a comeback for winter 2024.
Yeah, all black though.
That's
We're going
it.
back to the roots, all black.
Yeah.
Car guys want black.
Yep. A couple of you guys did say that, you weren't super keen on the grey shirts. I got mine pretty grubby pretty easily. So black, I am a grub though.
Yes.
But yeah, black is probably the way to go. So they are coming back. We're going to have tees and hoodies coming in black. No pre-order this time, Kurt.
No.
We've emptied the bank account. We've bought as many as we could afford. So in saying that, there will be limited numbers. But people don't want to wait, right? I don't like keeping people waiting.
We don't have to do that now. Yeah.
Nah, a pre-sale thing, it means you got to wait a couple of weeks for us to get it printed, and then the turnaround time. No one wants to be waiting a month for a shirt. Geez, I bet half the people when the package rocked up, they forgot they even bought it. So this time they'll be in stock, ready to go. There are limited numbers, so if you want first dibs, if you want to have the streamlined first priority to get in there, I've going to put a link in the description where you can go down, stick your email. It's not going to cost a single cent, but just give us your email. So then as soon as they hit us, we can let you know they're there, probably before they even hit the website. So if you miss out, I'm hoping we've ordered enough for everybody. We've ordered as many as we can. We literally can't afford any more. But if we do sell out quickly, we can just order more. It just means you'll have to wait. And people don't like waiting, which is why we're not doing a pre-order.
Their turnaround's not too bad though, is it?
No, it's not. But, if you miss out, by the time we get the next order in, you'll be waiting a few weeks.
Yeah.
So get onto the website. Like I say, going to have the link in the description where you can just go there, just shoot us your email, and then those people will get first notification when the shirts and hoodies arrive. We're also going to have our normal Torq Hub white and black shirts, normal Torq Hub hoodies. We've still got socks, hats, stubby holders, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. torqhub.com.au. When you're there, you can hit the red button on the right-hand side and you can send us voicemail. Wouldn't that be nice?
Got your plug in early, bro. Look
Jeez,
at
I
that.
tell you what.
A little
Efficiency.
infomercial right in the middle there. No, it's good. We appreciate everyone's support. We just
Yeah,
need to
that's
punch
it.
some videos out. We've definitely dropped the ball there. So
Yeah,
I think we
that's
say it
it.
every time. I get sick of saying it.
Yeah, we've had a bit on. It's been a struggle, but we're reinvigorated, and it's getting cold. Don't wait until the winter chills get you.
Yeah, this is actually we've probably never done a podcast at this time before, have we?
During the day, no.
Around-
It's usually late at night.
Yeah, usually after I've already done a 12-hour shift, or you have, or coming off night shift or something. Which is, I'm low energy at the best of times. So you get me after a 12-hour shift, or the day after I've come off night shift.
Yeah. No,
Super low energy.
I could definitely tell in the last podcast we were a little bit low vibration. We've got a little bit more pep in our step.
We need some
this time.
excitement, Jeff. That's what we just need to start fucking throwing some parts around and
Yeah, absolutely.
pick that camera up. You haven't been at the shed, the Fab Lab, for fucking months without a camera. Like it's been a long time. You've just left me to my own devices.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh, what are we going to do, Kurt? I don't know what to do with all this fucking footage.
I think I've got like half a terabyte of footage on the laptop, and there's been a couple of like 25-minute clips of fuck all.
If there's only a couple, that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I haven't gone through all of it yet.
You
Like I
could
say,
probably
there's
hear
a
my
lot.
feet scraping in the background as
Yeah.
I'm walking, looking for that fucking tool that I thought I left somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or shouting at the dog.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, she's good for that.
Yeah, nah, for sure. But you can probably see in the background, we haven't really addressed it. We've shifted the low-cut fuck truck. She's been MIA for a little while. The rear mount turbo, 5-litre, 6-speed VH wagon. It's had a bit of
It's
a
just
shit.
been left alone, really.
Yeah,
It's not good.
Yep. No,
And that's
that
all
has-
our fault.
It is. It really is. However, it's been shifted from your place to mine. The fab work is essentially done now.
Yeah, most of it. Pretty much most of it, anyway.
Yeah. So coming up with a game plan on how to move that forward. I've ordered some parts for it, which I believe some should show up today, actually,
Yeah.
which would be nice.
Yeah, this will be sort of like the final sort of stretch, really.
Yeah.
Pull the motor out and redo all the camshaft lubrication. It hasn't been run in.
Exactly, yeah. So I put the engine together years and years and years ago, and it's just been sitting ever since, just sitting on the mounts in the engine bay. It's been that long that we can't remember the condition of things like the clutch, right? And you can't see that really well. So we're going to pull the engine out. We're going to check the clutch. We're going to make sure that that's all sweet. We're going to take the intake manifold, rocker covers off because we want to get them powder coated. While that's off, re-lube the cam, re-lube the lifters, assembly lube on all the stuff, so that when we do hit the key, we're not risking nastiness. Just don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So
Finish them, brake plump. Just, basically finish off. It's not all easy, super easy stuff. It's a
No.
lot of fiddly shit, but
yeah,
the bulk of all the main sort of stuff's done, really.
Yeah.
So, and this should have been done a long time ago, but we just...
fell off.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's like they say, the final 10% will take 90% of the time, especially
That is
when
true.
we need to wire an ECU, which is something that neither of us have done before. We do have a universal harness to work with, which will help, but we do need to make some modifications to it. And I've done some wiring in the past, don't get me wrong, but I have not done anything like that before, so this will be interesting. And it'll be a good little soiree to get our first Holly set up.
Once we get that one figured out, I'll probably just get one straight away from mine.
You reckon?
Probably.
Getting turnt.
Probably.
What's wrong with the link?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I just like Jeff to tune my shit.
Yeah.
It's always easy if you just got like... I mean, I'll probably get... we spoke about getting Jace to have a look at the link or whatever. I don't know if he's touched with it before, but at the same time, I kind of really don't want to fuck around and tie him up with a computer that he's not super familiar with.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to the people that they're known to go for. We're doing Delco stuff or whatever, or Holden V8 builds in general, engines and stuff. CSC all the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Number one every time
Mm-hmm.
for that sort of car, but I like to try and use what people specialise in.
Yeah,
I'd
well, it
probably
makes sense.
I'd probably just get Mike to do the link because he does links all the time. So
Yeah.
he'd be super familiar with it all,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
which makes it a better day for him because he doesn't have to try and figure something out.
Yeah.
Makes it easy. It's going to be better bang for buck for me because I'm not paying someone to figure out my mess on a platform they're not super familiar with.
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon yours isn't too far away. We've got an issue possibly with the alternator. We're not too sure sort of what the go is there. And then wideband sensors shut the tin. And then we've got this weird fuel pressure thing. But I reckon once we get the couple of little bits there sorted and we get it in the hands of someone who's good with calibration, your car's probably not too far off, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty much there now. I just haven't given it any thought. Most of my brain space is either family, a little bit of work, and then this Maloo, really,
Yeah.
I'm just concentrating on, I have commitments
Yeah.
with other people that I've said, I'm going to do this and we're going to do that. So my stuff just goes on the back burner.
Gets pushed to the side, yeah. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I feel with mine. Although, like I say, mine has a lot of turnaround time issues that I'm going to contend with at this point. But while we've got these other projects that, like I say, I feel bad. I know you feel bad that we've sort of let the wagon go cold for as long as we have. We should really, get that thing wrapped up, get it running, get it, ready so that Caden can get it painted and do whatever he wants to do with it and start actually enjoying it. Get this Maloo sort of well and truly locked down.
Yeah, that's going away for a holiday in a couple of weeks, I think. So
Yeah.
it's getting
Going to
a lot of changes. It's going to the chassis shop. Black
chassis
Magic.
jail.
Yeah. So tons of work. stripping it all back, a bit of rework.
Yeah.
But the final product's going to be insane.
Yeah.
And that's not a pretend insane or a YouTube insane. It's going to be fucking next level.
Yeah, we're not saying that for a thumbnail.
No.
It's legit. Too legit to quit.
Yeah.
And then
so I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
Just to be a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Or a decent part of it, yeah. So, yeah.
No, it should be good. Because it's been a while, got a few voicemails, mate. We can get onto those. What do you reckon?
Yeah, go on.
We've been a bit slack on the old segments this time, but it hasn't been too bad.
That's all right.
I'll play it just for old time's sake.
Hello.
Blow one. Today brought to you by our good friends at ReadSpeed. Readspeed.com.au.
Get yourself some sweet billet parts.
Yeah, but
Crank triggers.
they are nearly ready to go. They are this close. For those of you listening on Spotify, that's not far.
Yeah, really, really close. And I think he's got both options, flying magnet and I think a 36 minus one.
Relucta wheel. Yep. Super pumped. They look great. If you've followed us on the socials, you would have seen us share some stuff on our stories. Whenever we've sort of had it fed to us, we share it through. And yeah, the balance is set up and all that. It's looking really good. I think the final piece to the puzzle will be like the sensor mounts.
Bracket, which is there's gonna most likely there'll need to be a few different ones because people run different setups.
Yeah.
Different timing covers.
And where your alternator is and stuff. So there'll probably be like driver side and passenger side, whatever.
There'll be a couple of different sensors depending on what one, but it's good to at least have someone doing something.
Yeah, it's exciting.
A lot of people have just done their own.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing new. A lot of people have done it, but it's all just sort of one-off custom stuff. So it'd be nice to just be able to, if you're ordering a pulley kit, you can option that in.
Yeah.
Or if you decide you want to go a crank trigger like what when I go to a newer, later model EFI, I'll definitely have one before then.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to do something like that with mine. I think
you'll definitely have to.
Yeah, I think I've pretty well decided I'm going to go EFI now. And even if I didn't, I'd probably still need the crank trigger ignition.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna be running something like that on the SLE for sure.
Yeah. It's not just Holden V8 specific stuff though. They do like the sweet, like high tension lead bulkhead. Like he's got a sweet I don't know what plastic it's made of. It looks like billet aluminium, but I'm pretty sure it's plastic. I've got a set.
Yeah, it's got a billet. Well, you call it a billet thing on the back. But yeah, I think it's
like a nice ignition lead bulkhead, and
yeah,
there's a few other different bits and pieces. I really like their shirts. I wear their stuff all the time. I've got his shirt on and his hat. I wear it all the time. Nice and simple.
Yeah,
looks good. And you support a bloke that's living the dream, making parts off his own machines, Australian made.
Yeah, he's pretty much the Australian Doug Cook.
That guy's a legend, isn't he?
Isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know how far through. Probably a third of the way through, like his latest podcast on Spaghetti Studios.
Yeah, I listened to that this morning.
He's honestly he's nearly one of my spirit animals.
Yeah,
absolutely. I've got a few.
Yeah. Nah, I listened to that this morning.
The whole lot?
Yeah. The whole thing, start to finish. He's a legend, like you say. And just the go-getter attitude he's got. He does not fuck around. He gets shit done. Yeah. If he wants it, he's getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been following him for a long, long time when he was in like the first little shop, and it was shit. I don't even know how many people they had working for him. It seemed like it was only him, really.
Yeah.
Like even before, I've been following him since before he very first went on Cletus and I think the first time he sort of met Cletus was he put a cable drive fuel pump on Leroy, yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been following him since before then.
Yeah, it's doing turbo flanges and stuff.
Yeah, just sort of basic speed shop kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think that's sort of, like he's morphed from like a two-dimensional sort of non-moving part to now he's a
smart guy though.
Oh, yeah.
He's not just
He's no dummy.
He's not just some dummy fabricator that's a bit of a go-getter. He's a clever fella.
Yeah. Anyhow, we've strayed far from the path.
That's all right.
It is all right.
Would you expect anything less?
No, it's kind of what a podcast is, isn't it?
That's
Just
what
go on a
ours is.
tangent. Anyway, let's get stuck into some voicemail. Some of these blokes have been waiting a while to hear their message, so
Right.
let's get after it.
Hey lads, Josh here. Just wondering, what's the worst project that you've seen someone hold on to they should have really let go? Letting go of the ute recently mustn't have been an easy task, but what would you say to those out there holding on to those projects that really they're never going to achieve and they probably would be better in someone else's hands?
I feel like that was almost me at one point. I had this rusty, busted VH that was, and people that aren't really car guys would be like, "What are you doing with that piece of shit?" It's like, yeah, I'm going to do it up one day. That's I'm getting there, and people think it's never going to happen, but it is happening. It is happening. There's probably a couple of token fellas that have had some, we'll call them interesting projects, that probably should or could go by the wayside easily enough. I know he's listening, I'm just going to slap him with it. Mick's panel van. Kurto, big fan of Mick's XF panel van.
No. I don't like XF though. I never used to like any of that
Yeah,
era of Falcon, but somehow, some way, now I'm like,
XE.
I'm a pretty big fan of the XEs.
Yeah. Well, this thing's been sitting down the backside of the shed for God knows how long. The window's jammed down, so it's just full of water and whatever. Like this thing, it's going to be a budget skid build. He's screwing together a bit of a budget 427. Sorry, not 427. 347 rather. 347 Windsor with the C4 and whatever. He's just go there and pump some tires and have some fun with the boys, which sounds fantastic. However, I feel like he could probably spend $1,000 on a different body.
Probably. Is he going to try and fix anything?
Well, I don't know if there's much that you really want to fix. You probably just want to make it so that it's structurally sound and just send it. It's one of those things, though, like if you're doing a skidder and you're just going to go to, say you're going to go to Rubber Rampage and you're just going to pump tyres with the boys. All these skid cars only need to look good from afar for the most part. You know
that
what I
thing
mean?
never looked good when it rolled off the showroom floor, though, because
It
it's
was
a
brand
fucking
new, you
XF
reckon?
panel van, for fuck's sake. Have you ever seen has anyone done one up?
An
The
XF
van
panel-
people aren't even, you can't even, if you're a van person, you're going, yeah, I've fucking done one up. You're a van person. Like, our era, we're not van people. Like, our parents' era, they were the van
Yeah.
type guys,
Yeah,
the
they
older
had
guys. So,
one too many tabs.
so
Acid.
we don't get it for the most part, do we?
Vans were a real.
Vans are what started
I was gonna
Street
say-
Machine. I understand.
Well, not
that.
only Street Machine, but like the custom car
Yeah.
build. Yeah, it was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
This
So
one's not.
they've got an important place in where we are today, but they're just not something that I get excited about.
Nostalgia.
So
Yeah. Can you think of any other project? Well, shit. I reckon if we go back into the archives and find a photo of your car with the front cut off it, people would have just been going, boys.
yeah,
Pump the brakes.
yeah, my car doesn't make sense until you realise the sentimental value
That's
of it.
right, yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
the only thing. So
Yeah.
no,
No,
I mean, who are we? Who are we to tell someone what they should and shouldn't have? It's
No.
kind of like the same thing when someone like, Timmy Lades that just modifies the absolute fuck out of his SV88 and people
Yeah.
go, oh, you shouldn't have done that to that car, you should have done to this. If you own it and you want to let it rust away, well, that's
yeah.
some people, that might be all they have is something that's worth something to someone else. They might not have the skills or the money to fix it, but they've got the car and they
Yeah.
own it and they're just holding on to it. And, one day a miracle might happen where they've got the time or the money or the skills to fix it up, and that's just what they're holding on to.
Yeah.
You know, who are you to go, nah, you'll never do nothing with that. You should just fucking... Financially, they probably should, but,
Yeah.
you know, who
And
knows?
It's all fun and games to poke fun at your mates. I got no qualms throwing shade at my mates.
It's one of my favourite pastimes.
Yeah. And there's a couple of people that we're probably mutual acquaintances with that have probably started some projects that they had no business starting. Or, you know, a lot of projects that get, like we were saying before, they snowball and they get to a point where they just never get finished. But, yeah, I don't know. Like you say, it's the more you listen to people who are successful in what they do, right, the more you've got to think that there's got to be some grounds to believe the law of attraction. So if you keep telling yourself, if you manifest that, say you got this piece of shit car, it's the first car you ever owned, and it's rusting down the back paddock, and like you say, you've got no means to build it. If you let go of that car, it'll never eventuate. But if you just hold on to it, because who knows what could happen tomorrow? You know, your luck could turn around. You get that job that you've been chasing. You win on that lotto ticket. You sell your house for more than you thought. And then all of a sudden she's back on.
Maybe. Or you get rid of it and get rid of that idea that's never going to happen. And then you get a little bit more realistic and then get something that will happen and it pops up because you've got that space in your life. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'll just get that. Oh, whereas if you've got this other thing going on,
Yeah.
you'll never do it. Sometimes you just got to let shit go.
Is that like when you were telling me that I just need to buy a new VH and not bother with the one that I got?
Before you started?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you answering all
Look,
my
I think
questions
we
to
knew.
say?
I think we knew the base that you started with was terrible. I think you're a victim of just really bad timing in the whole world at that point in time.
Yeah.
If you had your ass into gear a year or two earlier, or waited a year or two later, financially you would have been better off. But I think as far as where you're at now with the product you got, you're laughing.
Yeah.
It's just the time and money.
So what he's saying, Josh, is that it's me. I should have left my project to someone else. He just didn't want to say it.
I did say it.
Eventually.
Thanks for calling in, man. That was good.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, g'day, boys. Peter here from Central Vic. Calling for a few things. Number one, I heard you shout out Fu Manchu in the latest episode. I'm also going to shout him out because he recommended your podcast to me on the JC forum, and I'm on board and just been going through the back catalogue. Love what you guys are doing. You both sound like a pair of top blokes that a lot of us can relate to. So cheers for the time you put into putting the podcast together. I speak for myself, but plenty of us are getting a lot of value out of it, mate. I don't have time to watch YouTube, but it's really good to be able to listen to it on my commute. On the back of the sale of your supercharged ute, mate, commiserations, but you're moving forward and doing the right thing. I'm in a similar situation. I have a 9-week-old boy now, and I'm sitting on 7 project cars. And you stall one and you buy another one, and it just puts the one you really care about further and further back. So I'm about to sell probably 4 or 5 cars, and I've got a Valiant Charger I bought in 2008, and I'm finally going to bloody pull that thing out and get it going. So yeah, it's a hard thing to do. It's a bitter pill to swallow, to realise your time's limited and you're not going to get to all these cars, and every single one you put time into robs from the one that matters. So sometimes you really got to boil things down to what's important to you, and you guys have just done that, and I'm going through the same thing, and it's not fun. I wouldn't recommend it. One more thing, a bit of a gripe. People who post a photo of a car and a trailer up on Facebook that they've just pulled out of a shed and write, "Oh yes, another one saved." Mate, it's not saved by pulling it out of a shed. The guy that put it in the shed 30 years ago is the one that saved it. Most of these cars go and sit, get pulled apart, get thrown in the too hard basket, and then sold off as fucking scrap. So your car's saved when it rolls out of your garage finished or registered or whatever. So that's my little gripe, mate. But love what you guys do. Please don't stop. Yeah, appreciate the potty. You guys stay out of yourselves, eh?
Stay out of, you wouldn't have got that. Stay out of yourselves.
I've seen it enough.
Yeah. The Alpha Blokes podcast.
Yeah. Thanks
Nice.
for calling in, Peter. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Real good one.
7 or 8 cars. Gonna sell 4 or 5 of them.
When he said 4 or 5, I just wanted to laugh right there. He's just being sensible.
Yeah.
Just have 3 or 4 on the go.
Congratulations on the new arrival. It was a few weeks ago now, so probably just about ready for its first birthday. But cheers for calling in, mate. A Charger, look, I don't know what the other cars were, but if Charger's the one that you're landing on, it's probably a pretty solid choice.
Yeah.
You know, as far as vehicles go. But yeah, it's when we're talking to Troy on the Psycho VS podcast, and he sort of said, you know, I thought my whole life all I ever wanted was a big car collection, and it's the biggest pain in the ass. You know, that it sort of makes you want to reevaluate where you're at for your goals and things like that. I think I'm, you know, you got wondrous sort of dreams of grandeur where you're like, yeah, I'd have a car for every occasion, but really it's
I
just
don't know.
No.
I don't know why. It's just not something I think about.
No.
But I definitely am not the sort of person that, I've never dreamed of having just heaps of different cars.
Yeah.
But I'm also the sort of person that's never once thought, hey, I'm going to get an exotic one day, even if I won lotto or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just that's just not where I want to be.
Not your bag.
I sort of want to be able to buy more, have a bigger space, and buy more tools to be able to I'd love to do like a full chassis one day.
Yeah.
You know,
Hell yeah.
I'd love to have the money and the time.
Yeah.
Because something like that, I'd want to just do it every day and do it for myself.
Yeah.
So I'd need to not have to go to work or be doing work on other people's cars.
So what you're saying is you need 1 million subscribers and you need everybody to buy the new hoodie.
But yeah, hang on, we're going off subject here, but yeah, nah. Stick to one or maybe 2 if you're an animal.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think you've raised some valid points with the saving. Another one saved as well. It's
I
a
think
valid point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, the person who saved it was the one that saved it for the next person. You know, it's one of those things. Cars, particularly, you know, sought after cars, we don't own them. We're just caretakers. Because if you do the right thing, if you look after them, they're gonna outlive us. You know what I mean? You're never gonna, once again, if you're doing the right thing. If it's a busted ass VT Acclaim that you send off a damn wall, well, you know, RIP. But if you've got one of these cars that gets pulled out of a barn onto a trailer, if you do the right thing and you look after it, it's going to outlive you. So you're just the caretaker. That's something that I've come to realise anyway.
Yeah, well, you just do what you want to get your enjoyment out of it while you have it.
And it's not saved until it's back on the road.
I think some of these cars that get put in the burnout competitions, they're not getting saved. Like competition vehicles, a lot of the time, they're not getting saved. They're sort of fucked.
Yeah.
They're gonna be fucked at one point or another.
Yeah.
It's the same as
They're getting
pretty much any race car, really. It's not a matter of if and it's a matter of when.
Yeah, they're getting
when something bad happens.
Yeah,
So.
patched together to make the next race meet. Yeah. Thanks for calling in, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks for being a new, I won't say viewer. You said you don't watch, but you listen. And that's more than enough for us. Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Hey fellas, how's it going? First time caller here. I just wanted to come and ask about a little rumour I heard about Summonats being moved to Sydney Dragway rather than the classic Epic. I've just been back from Brashenats and it sort of seems like they're trying to at least up the production quality there as well. I'm not sure if you guys have been or seen, but they've built a Skid Row. And yeah, that's about it. Keep up the good work, you legends.
It'd be interesting. I
We could ask.
dare say there's a fair crowd in Canberra that would love to see the event leave.
Probably a good majority, maybe. I don't know.
Do we think that Sydney Motorsports Park would be as good of a venue for that event as what Epic is?
No.
No, I don't think so either.
No. It's a different... Once you move, it's not the same.
The dynamic totally changes.
You can't even really call it the same show.
Yeah.
It's like Motivation. Motivation has it. I'm sure that would have moved. That used to be
They used to be at the
the
Burswood
Dome. Yeah. So I mean, I guess you can move it and call it the same thing. But to us, anyway, if you moved it to another venue, you wouldn't. You just call it something else.
Yeah.
The venue is kind of a pretty big part of the show, really, isn't it?
That's not to say that a franchise couldn't do it, but it'd be hard to execute.
Oh, you could 100% do it, but probably just call it something else.
Yeah. I mean, we know some people on the Summernats team. We could probably ask. We could probably get the scoop on that. Whether or not they'd be willing to let the cat out of the bag is another thing.
Yeah, or whether we'd be allowed to let it out, but
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
As long as they've got, I mean, I'm sure it brings a lot of money to the locality. That'd be one thing
Yeah.
that'd be a bit of a shame, is the tourism side of it.
You know what else would be good, well, that is good about it being in Canberra, is that it's not in the middle, but it's like triangulates Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide. If you move it all to Sydney, you're dragging it further. Would that then affect some people from wanting to go? I know that Canberra's not that much further to go to Sydney, but sometimes a little bit further is all enough for you to be like, look, that's far enough.
I wish I could drive most of Canberra. I wish I could just get it to just be off,
Just
away.
fuck it off.
If someone else wasn't there, and this isn't the people, I guess. I'm sure there's some people from Canberra that live there.
Canberra could just fuck off.
But for the vibe that I get from everything about that joint,
Yeah.
it's not the move.
Nah. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no, I don't know. I haven't heard a rumour to that effect, but it'd be interesting to see.
I don't think you could have the same vibe anyway.
No. Well, I mean, they've already sold a shit ton of tickets for the next Summernats, so you would assume the next one at least would be in Canberra. It'd be pretty late in the piece.
It'd say on the ticket.
Yeah, it'd be pretty late to pull up stumps to move an event of that magnitude now. You'd have vendors and contractors and stuff locked in.
Yeah, there'd have to be a forcing of the hand there, in my eyes, for them to want to make the move, whether that'd be like... And it's obviously not a lack in ticket sales,
No,
because
it'd be an external
they
factor.
usually just sell out.
Yeah.
The only thing that'd get that to move in my eyes would be like a drop in entrance and sales to the point where it's not viable, or a government sort of, nah, you're not doing it here anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck off
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Whether it be local council
Yeah,
or whatever.
that's right. So we all know the local council. They're fantastic to deal with. They always know the right thing to do. Super
Yeah.
proactive, always on the go.
Yeah.
Your money's not a red cent gets missed there. They're real good.
Nah.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd make the right call.
Pay your land rates.
Yeah.
No, you can't have that shed.
Yeah.
You can't put that swing up, and no, you can't have a fucking trampoline.
we could
either.
just...
You best
look,
not
let's
have,
not go down that road, because,
best not have too many dogs in
we
your
could
backyard.
just fuck them off altogether, I reckon.
Go on, get out of it.
Oh, g'day guys, it's Fu Manchu. Long time listener, first time caller. I did send off the text message to the dude who bought my car, but I got no response. Thanks guys, you're cheering me up with your podcast. Keep up the great work. Thanks.
Nice. If you didn't listen, or if you hadn't seen in the comments, so just after my VS Ute was sold, Fu Manchu said he was going through his phone and he saw a contact in his phone, which was the person who purchased his old Ute. And he sort of got a little bit thinking of, a bit of a where are they now sort of setup. And I told him he should send a text message or give him a call, and obviously didn't get a reply. Sorry to hear, mate.
It's no good, Fu.
Nah. Hey, better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. We've got another one here from old Fooey.
Hey guys, Fu Manchu again. Hey, you know what's got me on the fucking chip?
Go
You
on,
know
tell
what
us.
it is? It's these dickheads that get on the socials and they need help with their Commodores or their cars, and then you really know the answers and you give them that help they need, or it could be the person that designed the car could give them the help they need. And they'll go, oh, yeah, I don't want to do that. Like, they want help, but they don't want help. And I think, Kurt, you touched on this the other day when someone wanted to know about some sort of supercharger or something, and you just thought, fuck, if you're asking the question, what are you doing? Like, they don't want to know about the answer. What's with that, eh? Like, no one can really genuinely answer that question, but there it is. They're out there, aren't they? They get me on the chip. Thanks, guys.
That's an asshole, isn't it?
I was just about to say, asshole. That is the definition right there. Unless you're giving them the answer that they want to hear, they ain't listening.
Yeah.
How many times have you told me in the past, just stop wasting your time, Jeff? They don't want to
You
hear
used to do it all the time, eh?
You're like, you're giving out all this information for free, and it's not to say that I have any super worthwhile information. This is all stuff that you could get off Google if you really wanted to. But it's like you feeding all this information to them for free, and they do not give a fuck, not one.
Well, they do if it's going to go along with what they can be bothered doing or have
Yeah.
the money to do or what have you.
Yeah, yeah. If you're telling them an answer that's just too hard, they're just gonna be like, nah.
Need some confirmation bias there. Like,
Yeah. We see it all the time, and you know what? When people are asking these questions, and it's like you say, they're asking something about a supercharger or an ECU, or these are things where you're escaping that stage 3 build. Like you're starting to go into more of a custom type build. And if you're asking that question, you should be asking the professional in whom you're going to enlist to do this work for you, because you're clearly not going to do it yourself at that point. If you're asking these sorts of questions, instead of going and buying all this shit that you think is the right thing and then handing it to a workshop going, oh, hi, I've spent $20,000 on all this shit, can you make it work? And they're just going to sit there and go, not interested.
yeah.
Sorry.
There's something, I can't remember who I was speaking. This is how good my memory is. I can't remember who I was speaking to this. I can't remember if it was when I went to Black Magic the other week and I was speaking with those guys there, or if I've heard someone else, but there's something in the human brain that you just they don't want to pay for people's time.
Yeah.
They'll quite happily pay someone they don't know, have never met, for a part, their asking price or whatever, but as soon as it comes down to like the labour factor, maybe they translate it to what they get paid per hour, and it works out to be like 3, 4, 5, 10 times more if you work it out on an hourly rate.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, fuck that. That's not money well spent.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just give it to them as a package, like this is parts and labour, everything, this is what it's going to be, they're sort of less likely to get upset. Like, I think people just don't want to pay other people. Some people don't see the value in paying for someone else's time when it's really not the time you're paying for in most cases. It's their experience and maybe just their personality of how they're going to handle the situation if there happens to be a problem, or you can get more out of them. Once you've spent money with a lot of people, you can call them or you'll see them at the track or whatever, and there's more information there.
Yeah.
Information is the most powerful thing in the world.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just a really underutilized thing, and if more people sort of thought about it in that way, the whole scene in general would be a lot better. There'd probably be more cars getting finished. There'd be less money overall getting spent. There'd be less shit parts making it in, getting sold, because, that shit'd all get filtered out. Don't buy that, it's junk.
Yeah.
So there's just something with the human condition where, you don't necessarily want to pay for someone's time.
Yeah, you'll pay for the product, but then expect them to do the rest for nothing.
Or they can justify the product. Like, it's just
Yeah.
a weird
I think
weird thing.
If you haven't heard of it before, I'm sure you have, but I'll say it anyway. So there's, say you have an electrical issue at your home, and then the Sparky comes around, and then within 10 minutes they get it fixed, and you get the invoice for $500, and you go, $500? You're only fucking here for 10 minutes. And the Sparky will turn around and say, I managed to fix it in 10 minutes because I've been doing this for 30 years and I had $30,000 worth of tools in my ute. That's why it cost $500.
Yeah. And I was getting paid fuck all when I was an apprentice, while all my other mates had other jobs that were getting paid 10 times more.
Yeah.
You put in the hard yards early.
That's it. You got it.
You can say, yeah, underutilized anyway.
Yep.
Did we go on a tangent then or not? Maybe.
No, not really. No,
No.
I don't think so. We got one more from Fui. He must have had a couple of cheeky
He was
beers.
firing on all. I don't know how many cylinders that bloke's got, but I reckon it's at least 8.
All of them. Everything. If you want to send a voicemail,
We love it though. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. If you want to send a voicemail, talkhub.com.au, there's a red button on the right-hand side of the screen. Doesn't matter whether it's a computer.
Question, a statement, whatever.
Yep. Whether you're on a computer, a tablet, a phone, if it's got a microphone, you can send it, and we love to receive them.
Hey guys, look, Fu Manchu again.
Again.
You guys seen the Dashcams Australia video that was uploaded today? And that's a shit show, isn't it? The Mercedes that got stolen, 60,000 views in 9 hours. Every one of the people that have watched that have looked at those low-life fucking car thieves and just gone, what a bunch of losers. And they thought they were going all right. And you got the whole of Australia just going, you're a bunch of dickheads. Yeah. Anyway, we don't want to see that happening to our cars, and good thing that the dash cam was there, captured everything. It makes a big difference. Interested in your thoughts on that sort of stuff? Take care, guys.
I sent that video to you. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
When I watched it and they started
Great driving,
talking,
Dal.
What's the cartoon? Where he's like, "Where's me fucking loader?" What's the?
Oh, Siggy Butt Brain.
Yeah, Siggy Butt Brain. That was the first thing I thought of. Oh, fuck! It made me laugh.
Yeah. Oh, gee, that was good driving though, eh, Dal? He was like, every 2 seconds, she's just like, shut the fuck up. We've got to keep away from the cops. He's like, fucking good driving. Didn't put a scratch on it. You know, he kept going on. Hilarious. But
Fucking car thieves.
blew the tyre on the way out though. Either rolled the bead or hit a rumble strip or something. Who knows? But yeah, it's good that the dash cam managed to capture everything. Good for the entertainment value. The car ended up fucked though. So the dash cam didn't protect it from that. Hopefully, those people had their insurance in check. Although, in that situation, would you get a reimbursement from the federales?
Not
because
sure.
it'd be like a crime thing. And I think the cops punted the car maybe from memory.
Not sure.
Or was it a parked car? I can't remember. But yeah, I wonder if you get any compensation in that regard.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
They would have had insurance.
Well, you'd hope so.
Yeah.
You'd hope so. GPS trackers, what do you reckon? Worth it?
If your car gets stolen, I'm sure they're worth it for sure. It's obviously not a deterrent.
No.
That's going to be something.
Yeah.
It depends what way you want to go.
The horse is bolted at that
Yeah,
point. You know, the
yeah.
GPS tracker is good for recovery. However, the horse is already bolted. Sure, you can lead the fuzz.
It depends what sort of person you are. Some people might quite happily get a
Sorted out
couple of crew around. It depends what sort of person you are. Me personally, I'm not going to hold much faith in the police chasing up a lot of stuff that's kind of low on their priority list, it seems, people's personal property a lot of the times. Although, if you got a GPS thing, maybe
I was going
it's
to say
slightly different.
that ends up being low hanging fruit for them. That's a good news story for their Facebook page.
Yeah, so
But I mean, once again, by the time you chase up where it is on the GPS and you actually go to get the car, who knows? The thing could be half stripped by then.
and if they're switched on to it, they probably know to look and I mean, we're not car thieves, so we don't know
No,
really what they're all about. But I would probably more try and go towards the bollard slash
I was just about to say
not
what,
fucking
yeah.
not leaving
Physical
your
barrier.
garage door open and that kind of thing.
Yeah, physical barrier. Well, yeah, I was just about to say, what would be your top 3 anti-theft devices? 1, bollard.
Yeah.
Kill switch?
Not leaving you, like if you've got like a one thing I'm real conscious of is if you've got like a garage that faces the road, which everyone does pretty much, and if you've got something super nice that's going to be likely to get stolen or have that sort of
Appeal.
yeah. I wouldn't leave the door open. I'd be sort of, open and closing it.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. If no one sort of knows it's there, then no one knows it's there. That's the best thing in my eyes is that. So probably not posting up photos of it out the front of your joint.
Yeah. I was just
That
about to
kind of
say,
deal.
that's probably one thing that it's kind of counterintuitive because, like you say, if no one knows it's there, what
It isn't there.
what incentive is there? You know what I mean? Us, on the other hand, total fuckwits. Start telling everyone on the internet what's in our shit. Like, no one knows where it is, or some people might, but
Some
it's like,
people would,
yeah, it's like, what's in there, what we're doing with it, what's the plans, like there's people who are acquaintances of mine who I hadn't met prior to having the YouTube channel, but they have followed the videos. They've come to my house, they're invited to my house. They don't rock up to my house, but they come to my house invited, and they said, isn't it weird that I pretty much know where everything is in this shit? Like they've seen enough videos, the camera's been waved around enough, and he's like, I feel like I've never set foot in here until now, but I'll just go, yep, this place is familiar. It's a weird thing, isn't it?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I've got a quick little car theft story.
Ooh.
No, I'm not going to use any names, but it's one of my workmates told me this story. It happened to him. I hope he doesn't. He won't care. He'll never know. But he had
Change his name.
someone come into his place in the middle of the night or early in the morning. He had a VF GTS.
Oh.
And they came in and stuck a light in his face. And he thought they had a gun. They said they had a gun. He couldn't see. He was half asleep.
And blinded.
And they stole his car, basically. And he had to listen to him try and figure out how to figure out the push-button start in the garage while they were trying to get it started. Can you imagine how scary that would be?
Yeah.
At, 2,
Someone
3, 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
some big dude, light in your eyes, I've got a gun, I'm taking your fucking car. Like, that's trauma right there.
Oh, yeah.
That is fucking trauma.
Emotional
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be
That'd
rough.
be where you learn your fight or flight reflex, because you never really know until you're in that position. Everyone will say this and that. Yeah, you
Some of
never
the
know.
old-
And I'm not going to say which way I'd go because I wouldn't know. I guess it'd depend what car it was and what the situation is.
And it's fight or flight, and it depends on what you've got at arm's reach,
Yeah,
really,
and
doesn't it?
what they're after. But yeah,
Yeah. It's like you speak to, like, there's fellas that I worked with when I was a young fella. They're the older boys that have sort of grown up through the 70s and the 80s, and they'd, mix it up with some less savoury characters, we'll call them. And, they get what they call an order. There'd be an order within the criminal group, and they say, I want an XE ESP, and it's got to be red, and I don't care where it comes from, I just fucking want one. And then these standover people would go looking for one. I wonder if that's a similar situation, because in what...
I think this one was an opportune because it got torched and
what?
yeah. And the worst thing of all is, it was just timeline-wise, I think it was sort of either just before COVID or sort of during like early days. You know how they went stupid in price?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he got his payout before. It was literally like a month later and they were going for, like
50
what his
grand
payout was. I can't remember what he said the exact figures were, like what he paid and what he got,
It
but
doesn't
it was
matter.
like, I remember they were selling for well over 100 grand. They were sort of
Yeah.
like 110, 120 ish,
Yeah.
and like he couldn't even get back in. He was
Oh.
out. He was out of that market. What his payout and all that done.
Oh, that's a
Hasn't had
shame.
another cool car since, I don't think. So
Wow.
that was the tragic part that I thought, not the
Yeah.
actual trauma. I mean, he can deal with that, but I was upset that he couldn't get another one.
Yeah. That would be, yeah, like you say, a shocking.
That's just super unlucky.
It's a surprise you just don't need. Anyway, thanks for
yeah.
calling in, Foo.
Yep,
He's
I quite enjoyed those ones.
yeah.
We had
He's
some doozies
he's
today.
a way back when sort of follower, so I appreciate him calling in. I appreciate all you guys that call in.
Yep, for sure.
Let him know, Kurt.
Well, you've already given them the infomercial, so I don't need to tell them where to go to support a couple of yobbos like ourselves.
But if if you're not too keen on the merch, you could always give us a thumbs up, share a video to a mate. Look, if you're sitting here listening to this, you've probably got a no good mate that's just like you and likes stupid Commodores and streetcar things. So let them know, enlighten them.
Head over to the channel, subscribe, do all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna get back into it, boys and girls.
Yep, it's happening. The cold weather's not a good motivator. There is no shortage of things to do, though, at all.
That's right.
We got about 4 to 5 cars to do.
Yeah. And if you've got a VR wagon that you want to swap for a VYU, maybe we would talk to you.
Yes. Yes.
That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. We will catch you on the next one.
That's it. We love you all. Thank you.